American consumers are absolutely tapped out. They're not going to restaurants anymore, and they can't even afford to buy beef at home. How do I know this? We're going to be going through some numbers that Tyson Foods is producing. Basically, they're seeing customers switching proteins. They're switching from beef and expensive cuts, and they're switching over to pork, chicken, and it is showing up on Tyson's balance sheets in the billions of dollars. Americans cannot afford beef anymore, and we're covering this, as well as the fact that we got Americans not going to restaurants anymore. We got numbers on that. People are staying home, eating at home, and restaurants are starting to implement artificial intelligence at their restaurants. We got the latest from some of the conferences that are being hosted by a lot of these big name brand restaurants to really look at what they're talking about. We got that and a whole lot more. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are the things the mainstream media just won't cover. All right, Tyson Foods just reported their fourth quarter, and we saw this in the third quarter and now the fourth quarter earnings as well. Tyson Foods is seeing a massive pivot of American consumers out of the beef, buying beef, and now they're buying chicken instead. And one of the things that we're seeing here is Tyson Foods has found, with other price-fixing corporations, that they can jack the price of chicken up and people will still buy it because it's cheaper than the beef. Yes, you heard that right. There's American pain out there for the consumers, and so Tyson Foods finds that they can profit off that pain by jacking up the price artificially high on chicken. Yeah, so be aware of that, friends. That Tyson Foods is absolutely taking advantage of you, and Tyson Foods not only produces Tyson Foods, but then they also produce the generic labels as well. So a lot of things like GV brands or your store brand, a lot of times that's Tyson Foods as well. So if you go out there and you connect directly with farmers, you connect directly with producers, you may find a lot lower chicken prices. But we're seeing chicken prices going up, not because there's a supply issue, not because it's more expensive to produce the chickens, which is maybe a little bit, but nothing like the prices that we're seeing. The reason the price of chicken is going up is because consumers will pay that higher price because beef prices are so much more. To a lesser extent, apparently, this is also happening in pork. Tyson Foods is forecasting annual revenue rise as chicken demand offsets their beef woes. And what kind of beef woes do they have? This is coming as the latest U.S. Department of Agriculture cattle report shows America's cattle and calves herd population has fallen below 94 million. It's the lowest mid-year level since 1973. So we're seeing very low cattle levels. Calves are not coming in to replace the herds yet because prices for ranchers is not picking up. Tyson Foods is getting really high prices out at the store for beef, but ranchers aren't seeing that themselves. They're just starting to get a little bit of help from prices starting to go up a little bit for the live weight, but it's these guys in the middle like Tyson Foods that are making billions and billions and billions of dollars, and while ranchers are struggling to pay their bills. We got, as they say, Tyson Foods reporting strong performance in chicken, and they're starting to not make as much money off the beef. Anyway, so making sense of this switch, rising chicken demand is happening alongside sliding beef demand, or as they call it, protein switching. This trend is driven by excessively high supermarket beef prices, prompting low and middle income consumers to seek cheaper alternatives like pork and chicken. Anyway, On the other side of things, U.S. President Donald Trump on Friday accused meat packers of driving up U.S. beef prices through manipulation and foreign influence. It's no surprise when we start seeing that of the big meat packers, the big four meat packers, they're all owned by foreigners. Basically, they're owned up, or they have significant investment from people overseas, and this is like JBS. JBS is a Brazilian company. You start looking at Smithfield. Smithfield is bigger on pork and everything like that. It's a Chinese company. You start going through these big four meat packers, and boom, you're going to see that there is a lot of foreign ownership, and they're just squeezing every drop of money out of the American consumers that they possibly can. A White House official said last month the U.S. could quadruple low tariff beef imports from Argentina to ease prices. So basically, that's not going to be good for ranchers, but they can do that to cut out some of these meat packers who are absolutely choking the American consumers. People can't afford beef, whereas over in Argentina, the beef prices are not that high. We could move some of that beef over to the U.S., particularly beef that's already butchered. All right, moving over to restaurants, because people are eating more at home and they're switching proteins, but also, they're just not going to restaurants. Goldman Sachs analysts went to the Restaurant Finance and Development Conference in Vegas last week, and this is some interesting insights that they have. They met with restaurant industry insiders and heard very alarming and consistent messages. What is that? The operating environment is deteriorating. This is especially important for those of you who work in the restaurant industry or are thinking about working in the restaurant industry. Deteriorating, especially among lower and middle income consumers, pushing brands to use discount campaigns to defend their market share. So there may be more discounts out there going forward. So you might want to keep looking for those. If you do occasionally eat out, you might be able to find more bargains or deals out there. She said that there was also an increasing discussion around accelerating artificial intelligence adoption, with operators betting on human hybrid AI models. This is to reduce costs and to improve services. Now, we'll get to the AI in just a moment here. I know that's not going to be a popular one for a lot of folks. If you didn't like the self-checkouts, you certainly will not like what's coming with that. But the fact is that the drag on restaurant traffic by non-restaurants, particularly grocery and C-stores, so basically people are switching over to grocery stores instead of restaurants. The combination of data and surveys indicates growing evidence that consumers are leaving even fast food and fast casual restaurants and replacing the meals with a combination of grocery, such as Aldi and Trader Joe's specifically, for taking additional share, fresh format grocery, for example, the hot food bar at Whole Foods, and C-store food, particularly with breakfast, so convenience store. So they're moving away from fast food, moving to convenience stores. They're moving into grocery stores to pick up their food, and they're even using like the higher end services inside these grocery stores, like the food bars, salad bars, and that kind of thing at your grocery stores. We've been seeing this as people rotate to convenient foods at grocery stores, particularly like frozen foods, frozen meals, and also like the convenience box stuff, the ultra-processed stuff. Healthy foods are not catching on. Ultra-processed foods are still the thing. All right, the second takeaway that they had was that AI is front and center. Now, this is not the first year that this was. They were starting to discuss this last year, but the conversations apparently were much more mature this year with concrete plans, and already a bunch of these places are implementing AI already. So basically, central to the discussion on current applications of AI, or artificial intelligence programs, was a focus on leveraging the technology to enhance the consumer experience. So they've realized that people do not want to talk to a robot. People do not want to talk to a screen. They want people making their food. They want people taking their orders. But the question then is, how can they use artificial intelligence behind the scenes to increase people's experience? So the hybrid approach by which humans leverage AI technology to drive efficiency gains and redirect their time and effort to other tasks that are more critical to the consumer. From the perspective of restaurant general managers, AI can help inform and expedite critical decisions around labor scheduling, inventory management, and food prep timing. So this can be a big deal, as well as training the workforce. So humans still cooking your food, but instead of a manager sitting there and manually doing all the orders for inventory, they can have artificial intelligence doing inventory to make sure that the restaurant is going to have all the food and food products that they need, which is actually probably a pretty good use for artificial intelligence. Also, scheduling. So, friends, if you want certain time off, if you want certain hours, this is a win and a loss. This is not just restaurants, though, okay? When it comes to scheduling, we're going to be finding artificial intelligence being used more and more for scheduling. On one hand, this means that you kind of take the human element out, where they can maybe give you some preferential treatment. But on the other hand, you won't be the person left out because they're giving preferential treatment to other people. So that's a thought there. Also, the AI system may be more responsive for requests for time off, because a human manager may find it too much of a hassle to move everyone's schedules around. And artificial intelligence can very quickly and very easily move everyone's schedules around, and so that might make it more likely that you might get your time off. So think about that. But that will impact not only, like I said, restaurants, but also other things. One other thing that you may see this implemented at is voice AI being used at the drive-thru. Now, on one hand, again, a lot of this stuff is like that. On one hand, it's good. On one hand, it's bad. So on one hand, I think it's bad that you're going to be dealing with artificial intelligence at the drive-thru. But on the other hand, I think it's good, because who here has had trouble ordering at a drive-thru because the speaker was not the best, because the microphone wasn't the best that the person was talking with. Just the sound quality is not good. And then also, sometimes you get a worker that just is difficult, right? I mean, now, artificial intelligence may have workers that are difficult to understand your orders, especially if you have a specialized order. But at least artificial intelligence will give you a more consistent experience, right? So that's interesting. Let me know what you guys think about those uses of artificial intelligence. Are those legitimate uses? Are those uses ones that you could get behind? Is it okay for them to do that kind of behind the scenes, managing their labor, managing the inventory orders? Or is that even kind of a bad use of artificial intelligence? So we got that. We got people rotating out of restaurants, and I'll put that out there too. People are doing that because it's smarter. It's saving money for their families as people are tightening up their budget. There's a reason why Dave Ramsey always talked about, when you're trying to get out of debt or when you need to cut your expenses, you need to be eating rice and beans, right? Rice and beans with a little bit of meat, and doing a lot of that will save you a lot of money on your grocery store, and you're just not allowed to eat out. if you're not familiar with Dave Ramsey, he's got some great resources out there. He's got the YouTube channel. He's got the radio show. You might want to look into that if you're having trouble making your budget meet. If you have problems with debt, the Dave Ramsey and the Total Money Makeover, I think it's called. He's got the baby steps for getting out of debt. Great program, great stuff to think through money and to learn how to use money. If you're struggling, that's a great way to go. And he's got a bunch of practical ways for you to budget as well as to save money so that you can get out of debt. Or so that you can make ends meet if you're just having a real low income right now. If you're on food stamps, you can stretch the food stamps a lot further by buying cheaper foods, by buying foods that you have to prepare yourself, and not by buying the industrialized stuff that's instant. All right, friends, if you have some tips on that too for how people can save money, do that. Also, there's some great deals out there on fast food. If you're going to go out to eat anyway, well, then make sure you're at least getting a deal. We're coming into December here. If you're going to buy gift cards, make sure you're getting free stuff for the gift cards, right? A lot of these stores are doing spend $50 and on a gift card and you get like $10 or $20 kickback. Now, usually they have a pretty big asterisk that bonus card has to be used within a certain time period. If you're going to play the game, make sure you play the game properly, right? Play the game well. Don't feel like there is a great game here where you can get a good deal and then end up not getting a good deal, right? These fast food restaurants, a lot of them have apps, on your phone. And if you use them like Wendy's, McDonald's, a lot of them will give you like free stuff. So if you buy a certain amount, like $2, you get like a free Big Mac. Or if you spend, if you buy at least 99 cents, you get something for free, like free fries or something like that. So if you buy just one little thing or whatever and get the freebie, that can satisfy your eating out without breaking your budget. That's something that I did for a bit. But obviously, there's going to be a bunch of people in the comments telling you that you should never go to any of these fast food restaurants. But in America, you're still free to do so. So anyway, let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below about artificial intelligence, about switching out of restaurants, and ways that you can save money at home making your own food. All right, friends, thanks so much for joining with us. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report out.